reaction videos are good, but normally they just cover videos or TV shows. In this case, I'm covering weird literature that I happen to have around. In this case, it's going to be a Life magazine from 1946, and we're going to be looking at some of the ads in it, which are quite interesting. This is called Litereaction. A new comedy feature. Okay, so the first good ad isn't this one. No. Okay, wait. Old ads can be very interesting when looked at through a modern lens, which is why especially Life is interesting, because back here it was pretty biased as far as that goes. Where is this one? Where is it? It's gotta be or something like that. Okay, wait. No. This is also weird. Should have, no, wait. No, wait. Maybe it's before this. No, it's got to be here somewhere. I have it here somewhere. Okay. Alright, no. You can see all this. Here it is. Okay, first ad. It's for Campbell's Soup. Very old. But you just gotta look at this art. This art's just great. If you look at this art, you just can't miss it. You just can't go wrong with the 40s from 1946. Okay. One says, "Oh." And no wonder. It's called Scotch broth, but it's really a thick and hearty soup. The nourishing meat stock brims with garden vegetables, and to further tempt your spoon, satisfying pieces of mutton. So they don't make that anymore. I guess because it has lamb, but they don't make that anymore. It's called Scotch broth. One says, "Oh." And who would blame him? For here is a chicken soup to make anyone's mouth water, a stock gleaming with chicken richness, fine white rice, and tender pieces of chicken that almost melt on your tongue. One just keeps on eating. Looks like Augustus Gloop or something. And that's the natural thing for any man to do the moment he catches a whiff of this one, with its 15 different garden vegetables and its rugged beef stock. So I don't know if Campbell's Soup was actually better back in this time period, or if they're just kind of exaggerating. I couldn't say really. I think it could be either which. Anyway, you just gotta look at these faces. I mean, this is the kind of stuff you just can't make it up. Anyway, this is very interesting. To see all the old culture. Surprisingly sexy for the time. Rita Hayworth. But culture back then really isn't as different from culture is now when you look at it. Let's keep looking. A lot of these have weird cartoons, like this. Like she supposed to look like Lucille Ball. Okay, here's the next advert. Meet the friendly Frank. Outdoors on a hickory stick or indoors on a platter. It's thanks to Frank's. Got a little picture of this here. And this is before everyone went all vegan and crazy. Yes, the Frankfurter is folksy. Yes, the Frankfurter is easy. But there's far more than good eating in those winning wieners. There's a plump skinful of meat, rich in protein, which contains the amino acids provided by all meat and essential to life. See, back here people weren't vegetarians very much, and all the ground up pig parts in this thing were just I mean, I like hot dogs, but I don't know. I don't think they're essential to life. I don't even think they're the best meat you can eat. But back here, they thought, cigarettes were healthy, so of course it's sponsored by the American Meat Institute, so it has to be legit, right? Okay, next one, somewhere, wait. Okay, wait. No, I know it's here somewhere. Oh yeah, here it is. Okay, so this is an old movie. And just like now they had movie advertisements in the magazine, except here it's weird because it's an old western. Greatest frontier saga since Cimarron. The screen tells it for the first time. A town outside the law and all the notorious bad men who fought to keep it there. Bad Man's Territory, starring Randolph Scott and Richards. Blah blah blah. And here's all the bad, evil, Old West people who are in it. Wanted, Jesse James. Wanted, Frank James. Grat Dalton. Bob Dalton. See them all in action in one picture. Bill Dalton, Bill Starr, Hank McGee, Sam Bass. A lot of old westerns are very historically inaccurate. I mean, this has like 8 outlaws who I assume lived in completely different locations, never ran into each other all at once, and, probably lived about 5 feet, 5 years apart from each other. But here, just for the sake of, thrills and action, and this lady's like, oh, dang it, you can't fight all these bad outlaws. They're all here. Every one of them. Okay, next one. Okay, wait. Oh yeah, this is interesting. At a benefit circus, to which Mrs. Truman took her guests, the president bought her the tickets, these clowns come up to her, and she's like, ha ha ha, and these clowns are like, it's pretty funny. And then Miss Truman laughs with the rest of the audience at the clown's antics, good-humoredly shakes hands, and she's willing to shake hands with the clown. And then, taking advantage of her good nature, the clown rudely vaults paramount on sitting on her lap. That's enough, snapped Miss Truman. Laugh. And, this is a kind of history that doesn't get told. Alright. Something else now. There's something interesting back here. Back here. No, not here. Oh yeah, this is when they first introduced Scotch tape. And also, oh yeah, this is neat. In your hand, history's most important year. Events of 1945. And it has this little hand. It's holding a book. Britannica Book of the Year, 1946. No year in the records of mankind has ever held such historical significance as 1945, the year the world's greatest war ended in victory for the United Nations. Your life, your children's lives, and the lives of their children in turn will be colored and influenced by the events of those important 12 months. But who gives a darn about the old days? These days, all anyone cares about is Apple Watches and hashtags. So anyway, who cares that we beat Hitler? That's not interesting. Okay, wait, there's something good here. Right, press this. What is it? Oh yeah, here's this Sheetz ad, and it's portrayed like a soap opera. So this couple here is like, come on now, you'll have to admit I did a good job for you when I designed that new linen shelf. It's a beauty. Oh well, then we're both pleased. Plenty. Pepperells are such practical luxuries. The most beautiful sheets with the wear-woven. And, back here in radio, they always had the, the sponsored points where like a character would just break into an ad all of a sudden and they'd be like, so-and-so pill or so-and-so medicine. Alright, so there's something good here. Alright, okay. Alright, there's gotta be a better thing here. Okay, so there's the army. There. So, and here's why men pray, because it can't be that people should be atheists, because that's wrong to be an atheist. There's Campbell's again. Okay, wait. No, this gets really good. This is pretty funny. Yeah, all this weird stuff, it's so weird. Telephone guy. Looks like Thomas, except he's a telephone. Sure, I've made 41 million telephones, but what else do I make? Wire, for instance, miles and miles and miles of it, acres of reels of cable, thousands of intricate switchboards, delicate electronic apparatus to improve your long-distance calls. Yeah, but, to hell with him. Smash him. You got, Steve Jobs coming in. He just bashes this little telephone guy in the head with his iPhone. The old times are pretty weird. They're like really weird. And this is painted by Mingo. He also did some Mad Magazine covers later on. And he painted Alfred E. Newman, so it's weird that he also painted that sexy lady in the shaving cream commercial. Health superstitions. Does baldness result from too much brain work? No, it's simply hereditary or comes from illness or glandular deficiency, but never from too much thinking. And here's Lex Luthor. Do glasses alone correct faulty vision? No, important as they are, glasses cannot. Contact your ophthalmologist, optometrist, ophthalmologist, or, whatever. I can see some people falling for this one. I don't think anyone would ever believe this one. This one's pretty ridiculous. But then again, people back then were really stupid and believed anything, like the fact that, cigarettes were really good for you, and they were plucked by this husky tobacco man here. They used to have ads for them, Of course, it doesn't matter that they've banned the ads, because addicts will just buy them, So what was I looking for? Right, no. That's Studebaker, yeah. Oh yeah, here it is. So here's a house, right? And on top of it, there's like this Broadway sign that says, Oklahoma. Playing at your house tonight? An imaginary curtain rises in your living room. An orchestra strikes up. And from then on, there's nothing imaginary about it. This is the real thing. Oklahoma is playing a command performance at your house. Here on Decca Records are the lilting music, the unforgettable words, the same distinguished cast, chorus, and orchestra that made this musical play a brilliant success on Broadway. This is just one of Decca's famous original cast albums that bring Broadway's best and Hollywood's into your home. And then here you can buy Oklahoma, The Red Mill, Road to Utopia with Bing Crosby and he's waving his hat around, The Desert Song, and then you can buy Carousel, which I guess is a sequel to Oklahoma or something. But anyway, they just have very, very interesting stuff. You just can't go wrong with the 50s. When it comes to the 50s, it's interesting stuff here. It's a different time, when advertising was frickin' really weird, and everything was based around, there weren't any phones, it was all other stuff, like this guy. This guy isn't gay, and, she's not a lesbian. $64 question coming up. Uh-oh. Are they gonna have to get a divorce license because they're both gay? Okay, but of course they're not gay. No one in the 50s is gay. The 40s, I mean. So, this is about a school. It's the school that I go to. They don't go watch Ingrid Bergman and Spellbound anymore. Nor do they type stuff up or fix cars. Yeah, I wish I fixed cars at school. Just write stuff out on paper. And here these girls are like, they're doing chemistry. I say it's sexist, but it's, for manufacturing cosmetics, so they actually even gave girls a handy application. Okay, so, no, there's something better. Here. Okay, wait. There's something better. Okay, wait. Okay. Yeah, but basically this is just also weird. Youth will be served. Orange is it's a tomato. I wonder what kind of hybrid fruit they'll pop out. And then here, okay, wait, this might be the last one worth looking at, but I'll just make sure. Oh yeah, Barbara Hale, the ex-queen. So she spent a day out in the wilderness, and this is really surprising. Barbara takes a pack trip, looks attractive even in long woolies, and she goes to Arizona, and then there are just these very scandalous pictures, which I guess are supposed to be exactly like Playboy these days, except it's in life, which you wouldn't really expect, except, back here life didn't know what it was supposed to be, so they just take all these pictures, and they're not sexy by today's standards or anything. Maybe like 0.1%, but not really. Okay, last ad. You'll fly high, wide, and handsome in the Stinson Voyager 150, and it's just this plane that you can buy just like how you buy a car. And here's this guy on a horse, because everyone rode horses back then. The Voyager 150 puts you in easy reach of everywhere. You can make a 500-mile trip in an afternoon, and with no time out for refueling. And you don't have to have paved runways to take off and land in this new Stinson. Almost any field or pasture will do. And it compares favorably with the cost of operating your family car. And these days, airplanes are controlled by the government. You have to go through the beeping panel because, they think you're a terrorist. You can't just own your own airplane. Okay, finally I'll do this one, just because it's ridiculous. Come over where I can whisper, 'cause I like smooth men who keep presentable longer with Minin brushless shave cream. The way she looks at you tonight depends on the way you look to her. So enjoy that just shaved smoothness all day. Be nice to be with tonight. So, it's He-Man aroma wows the ladies. So, who says that the 40s weren't a sexy time? They were. We were the same. Anyway, this has been Litereaction. Thanks for watching.